Hey everybody, it's DIY Coach Al over here at Lawn Care and Home Repair. And guys, it's time to get those sprinkler systems winterized. But before you try to do it yourself with one of those pancake compressors, hold on, pump your brakes. You need to hear what the professionals have to say. And you know what? I got a professional to let you all know why you may not want to do it yourself. So you guys hold on, be right back to the Batmobile. Oops. Cue the music. Hey everybody, DIY Coach Al over here at Lawn Care and Home Repair. And guys, it is that time of year. It is time to winterize this sprinkler system. I got the good folk over here from Bird Sprinkler System. They put my system in last year, and it has been one of the best investments I've ever made. And now what we have to do is winterize this system. Winterizing is basically making sure we get all of the water and all of the air out of those pipes that's running under your lawn, so that you don't basically have a freeze. If you don't winterize your system, the water can freeze and the line can crack. And I'm actually not too unsure. This spot right here in my lawn, I actually think that there may have been some kind of sprinkler head damage right there because it's sunk in right there. But I didn't take care of it, and I probably won't do that now until maybe in the spring when we turn the system back on. But when you winterize your system, what you're doing, once again, is making sure you're getting all of that water out. My brother had a burst in one of his pipes in his sprinkler system some years ago. And the repair itself isn't difficult if you are into that kind of work, but you really have to dig up your yard, that trench, and go down maybe about a foot where that pipe is in order to repair it. So one of the best things that you can do for your lawn or for your system is to make sure that you winterize it. Once again, if in fact that water freezes, and unless you're living in the southern part of the country where you don't get freezes like that, your lines will freeze. I don't care how warm that temperature is for that winter. The chance that you take of that pipe freezing is not worth it. So the best thing we can do is to get out here and winterize this system. Now, with the process of winterization, what he's doing, there's a hose that's going to come over to the system out here in the yard, and you're basically pushing air into that system, into those pipes, to get all the water and all the air out. Now, some people actually do this on their own. What I found online is that when individuals try to do this on their own and they don't have a high enough PSI in that air tank, they're not actually pushing all of that water out of the system. This is one of the things, even though I do most of my own repairs and things in my home, this is one of those things that I don't mind paying a few bucks for, to have somebody else come out and do it. What they're going to have on that truck is an air tank that's powerful enough to push that air all the way, push that air at a high enough PSI to get all of that water out of your system. I can't say it enough. If you don't get all of that air, all of that water out of your system, you do run the risk of damaging your sprinkler system, and not only having to replace the sprinkler head, but also having to replace the pipe, and that's going to damage your yard. So you guys, as a matter of fact, I think we just had our first freeze on last night. So it is now time to go ahead and get this done. Let me get this out of the way for the young man to actually get in here and do what he needs to do to get this system winterized. I'm gonna be right back and show you guys some more things that you want to start doing to prepare your lawn for this winter that's coming and to get ready for Hey, so I got one of my friends over here from Bird Sprinkler. He's going to let you guys know what happens when you do this yourself and you don't have a high enough PSI. What's your name, my friend?
Reed.
Reed, okay.
So one of the biggest misconceptions with blowing out an irrigation system with a homeowner compressor compared to the diesel compressor that we have is it's not the pressure. Any pancake compressor can have 70, 80, 90 PSI, but we're working with volume. So if your pancake compressor only carries 5 gallons of air, 10, 20 gallons of air, that's just simply not going to be enough. It is enough, but you're going to be spending hours and hours spending your time out here winterizing your system, and you might just not get all the air out. With our diesel compressors, we are pushing 90 CFM, so I can basically fill a house full of air in about 5 minutes.
Wow.
So it's more of the volume of air that we are constantly producing and constantly pushing air through your system with 60 or 70 PSI through your system. So that's the really biggest thing. A lot of clients with their own pancake compressors, they'll hook up to a system, turn on a zone, and then the heads will pop up, which is great, and they'll expel water. And then once that pancake compressor decompresses, the heads will go down. They'll no longer have water coming out of them. To a lot of people, that seems like that zone is winterized. Unfortunately, it's not winterized. Your compressor just ran out of air, which ours don't. So that's the biggest thing is it's not pressure, it's volume.
Okay, so what I say is that it's better to just pay a little bit to have it done professionally than to have to pay a whole lot more to have it repaired.
It is, and the biggest things that are going to crack in the wintertime, the first thing that's going to crack is the one part of your system that is above ground and exposed, and that is your backflow unit itself. That pretty brass unit is not cheap. It takes me about 10 minutes to replace, but the unit itself is a few $100s.
Oh, wow,
so just on that first repair, you're looking at about $200 to $300 itself. The second thing that's going to crack is the most expensive part of your system, and that is your valve manifolds. That is where all of your main connection points are together. If I have to dig up and replace that, we are looking usually at about a minimum of $500 itself, and that's going to take me a few hours to do. I don't mind doing that because that's what I do for a living and I love my job, but I don't want to have my clients go through that. So if we can save you guys time and money and effort throughout your year and still have a beautiful green lawn every single year without problems, call us, we'll get it done.
Hey, you heard it from the professional. I appreciate it. Hey guys, once again, Bird Sprinkler, they are the ones who installed my system. Phenomenal company, good customer service, friendly, and everything else. And they are not giving me anything to mention them on this video today. I just enjoy making sure I bring you guys content that's going to be helpful to you. So yeah, he's going to go ahead and finish this up now and make sure, as I said before, if you're not comfortable with doing this, pay a few extra dollars to get it done right so you're not paying a lot more money down the road. Alrighty guys, you heard it from the professional, and let me tell you something. I had an opportunity to talk to Reed after he winterized the system, and that young man, I've got to interview him because he has a story that was just so moving. Talking about going from nothing to being where he is now. He said he is not ashamed to say that he was once living in his car, and he is one of the folk in charge over there at his department at Bird Sprinkler. And I want to say again, Bird Sprinkler did not do anything for me to mention them in this video. They installed my system last year, and when I called, they're right there. The customer service is friendly. They always have people who are friendly when they come over and do what I need done. That's how I like to do business. As I said, you want to be careful about trying to do that yourself. Now, I am DIY Coach Al. I don't just DIY lawn care. I'll run some video up here of some of the projects that I've done at my home so that you guys can see that I am that guy. I am Mr. Fix It. I love to get it done, but there are some things that I don't want to take the chance of getting it wrong. The cost to repair your sprinkler, whether it's just a sprinkler head or the piping in your yard, or I forget exactly what the term is, manifold, something down there. It can be very expensive. And as I said before, my brother had to have the sprinkler system repaired, and it can be very costly. I am very thankful that God has blessed me to be able to do a lot of things on my own, but there are times when I just don't want to make a mistake. I do the electrical work in my house, but I don't put the circuit breakers in. I'd rather have a contractor, somebody who's licensed, come in and do that. I'll take care of the rest. But there are times when we may need to pay a little extra money to get things done so that we're not paying a lot of money down the road. Can you do that yourself? Yeah, if you get a high PSI, PSI is per square inch in terms of the rate at which the air comes out, the pressure of the air, the rate of the air coming out. You can get a higher PSI pancake compressor that may do it if you have a small system. But I think from what Reed explained to me, it's just not worth taking the chance. And here's the thing, we'll spend money getting our lawn equipment, we'll spend money getting our grass. We may have to spend a little bit. I think it was maybe $100 to do that, and also have them come back in the springtime to turn my system back on. But when you try to do some things yourself and you get it wrong, you end up costing yourself a lot more on the back end. So you guys be careful before you go out there and try to DIY that one. Take it from the DIY coach. It is better to pay a little bit or a little more now than to have to pay a whole lot more on the back end. Hey, you guys know what I love to tell you, absolutely, positively, 100% unequivocally. I'm in love with you. And some people go all their lives and never hear that they are loved. But retired Pastor Al wants you to know I do love you. Secondly, even if you have to go out of your way, reach down and help pick somebody else up. There is no greater feeling in life than the feeling of knowing that you have helped somebody else. The last thing that I want to say is anytime somebody espouses a platform of putting somebody else down in order for you to be lifted up, don't buy into it. You don't have to hate somebody, denigrate somebody, reject somebody in order to live your best life. It's possible to live your best life and also help somebody else along the way. DIY Coach Al out. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day on purpose. Love you.